Let's talk about your breast. A different kind of podcast presented to you by The Rose, a breast center of excellence and a Texas treasure. You're going to hear frank discussions about tough topics, and you're going to learn why knowing about your breast could save your life. Today we have with us Shannon McNair and LaTonya Perez, who are talking about third-party events and all of the other kind of fun that we have in October. Now, there's not a whole lot fun about mammograms, but these two people turned October into some kind of happening. And every one of these events are so important to the Rose because they bring us funds that no way could we get these funds any other way, and they're reaching communities that we have no way of reaching. So, Shannon, you start. Tell us how long you've been at the Rose and some of the most fun events that you've been a part of.
This will be my 9th October with the Rose. I started in October, so as we say,
that's right.
So you start with your feet in the fire, where you learn real quick. And I'll never forget, because my first day we went to Rudy's. And the reason we went to Rudy's is Rudy's is a longtime fundraiser for the Rose in October. So I learned real quick what independent fundraising is, third-party fundraising, and how the community supports the Rose. The fun events, I mean, come on, we have booze and boobs, which you can't go wrong with hanging out with those lovely ladies and the heart that they have in those events. And that's what's special about the events. One of my favorites is also Kicking for a Miracle, which is a taekwondo Golden Eagle out in Morton Ranch in Katy, and the kids kicking boards. And so for every board the parent buys for their child to kick at this event, the funds come to the Rose. And last year in the room, we got real close to raising an even dollar amount, and a parent said, no, that's not good enough, erase that check. And we ended up with $7,000.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, just from kid, and it's so cute because it's the folks who are more advanced in taekwondo and those, high school kids, and then the little ones who are, but they actually will break a board. They're, with a little help, but they will break a board, and it's just so precious to watch them. They're so enthusiastic about it. There's survivors in the room. Like every event we go to, and you've talked about this too, when you go out and speak and meet with folks, you're going to meet a survivor in the room. 1 in 8 women, so you're going to meet a survivor. But it's such a fun event because there's so many people involved in that are just having a good time for the Rose. And every one of these people who put on these events have some connection to breast cancer or some great desire to help. Some's very personal, Kicking for a Miracle. Aaron and his wife, Alicia, who head that up. Alicia was one of our patients when she didn't have insurance. Mm-hmm. Now that she has insurance and they have this business, they give back to the Rose. So they're personally attached to it. And then there's some we'll find out later, like, oh, you helped my mom or you helped this. Or it's just they've been touched by breast cancer, whether the Rose helped them or not, or we were there for them. But they want to give back, and they know the Rose is a great place to give back and where the money's going to go.
That's true. Now, LaTonya, you haven't been here 9 years, but you came in just like Shannon with both feet on the ground, running. Tell us about your time with us.
I mean, it has been an amazing time. It's only been 2 short years so far, and I came in, just like Shannon said, with my feet on the ground, and I started running. And I love to ask for money, so if you hit that donation button, I will be forever your friend. So third-party fundraising is always my favorite time of the year. October is so much fun.
Now, stop there a second. We call it third-party fundraising. Explain in other words what that actually means.
So anyone who is outside of the Rose organization, who is an individual, a company, a restaurant, someone's mom or, church doing a fundraiser, raising funds for the Rose to support our mission.
And they host it?
They host the event. They carry it on, and we're there to be their cheerleaders and their supporters, and we're there to collect the money and really to be their support system in any way that we can.
We'd never be able to do what they do.
Right.
We host events and we work internally fundraising for the Rose, both of us. But to do what happens to the community every year, and I don't know if you know last year's numbers, and I don't know if you could guess.
How many?
How many events
we'll do both.
Well,
events and dollars.
Let's see. I remember 150 at some point, but what was it last year?
I think we were closer to 180.
180.
Now, mind you, some of these we don't know about. Like we find out later. We raised money, and here's the donation.
But what was the dollar amount?
I think our goal's always $500,000. And that's a
lot of money.
a lot of money
Yes.
to come from the community, mostly in 1 month, not always in October, mostly. We were over $600,000 last year.
Oh my gosh, that's huge.
And that's something we couldn't do. The two
I mean,
of us
some of
at
our grants are nowhere near that.
Right.
Right.
And it's not, it's big and small. It could be $200 and it could be $20,000.
Anywhere
events.
from a bake sale to a big golf tournament. I mean, or a entire restaurant filled of fabulous lady at Booze and Boobs.
Right.
I mean,
or a motorcycle ride across the country, that we've talked about. So it's little and small. The little ones are just as special.
So, LaTonya, you have no problem asking for money?
no, and I am completely 100% unabashful about asking for money. I will go up to a random stranger and say, this is my cause. This is what's going on. And I've been doing it for so many years, and coming to the Rose, finding a home, a job, and a family here. It's been really special to me. And I'm sorry, but coming from corporate America, coming to work with my good friend, it has been such a blessing. I feel 100% fulfilled in every single day.
It is different. And it's not that one is better or worse. It's just
it's different.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what we do it for. It's
Right.
and it like October is busy, but it is a lot of fun. We get to go out and meet with these folks and help with these events. Like I said, sometimes we're there and sometimes we're not, but it's a busy month, but always fulfilling month.
So these funds help support our Empower Her program.
Correct.
Which, even though we served like 8,000 uninsured women last year, 1,000 of them we didn't have a grant for. We didn't have
No place to go.
we didn't have any funding for that we could put them in, because
Right.
many grants are very specific. You have to have a certain county, you have to have a certain age,
Right.
And the Empower Her Fund allows us to serve whoever we need to, and that's where these funds go. They go directly to the women.
Yeah, this isn't something where we're buying equipment and we're paying, So I think the public knows that, and that's why they choose the Rose for their whether we help them or not directly when they're impacted by breast cancer. They choose the Rose because they know where the funds go, and they know that we're not where we spend our money, as well. We're very cautious of how we spend our funds to make sure that Empower Her Fund is there, so that we can say yes to everyone.
I know I haven't given you any time to think about this, LaTonya, but what is your favorite third party?
So everyone knows I love Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yes.
And seeing all of the Chick-fil-A's come together, I go to every single one. I stop at every single one that I can on my way, or to see my mom, down the Wallaceville one. I go over to Sienna, and I buy cookies or brownies by the dozen.
It's true.
I love seeing the community come together and support. But one of my all-time favorites was really a small group of women who came together to do workouts. It was Fit Nation, and one of their women, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she got the surgeries and everything, and she was still working out. And as a mom, seeing that, her determination to self-care was so important to me, and it was one of the special moments that I've had at an event, and it was amazing to see.
Oh, that is fascinating. Yeah. And it says another thing, that breast cancer doesn't define us, doesn't stop us.
No.
You keep going, and those that can pay forward, it means so much to us. So how do people tell you about these events, or how?
They said sometimes we don't know, and then we're like, can we help you? We could have helped, and we'll help them better next year once we know about them. But they can reach out to events@therose.org is the easiest way. We both get that email, so one of us will get that, and then we'll talk through what the event is, what you need from us. Some people don't need anything, or they might want a few brochures to make sure their guests know where the funds are going if they're not familiar with the Rose. Or we can create donation pages. There's a group in Galveston, and this is how simple it could be. It doesn't have to be a complicated golf or tennis tournament or jumping out of an airplane,
Right.
those kind of things, which are all great. But there's a Pirates Beach. I think we've all heard of that neighborhood in Galveston. They organize a walk. They just pick a day, they get together, walk, and they make a donation. And we set up a quick donation page for them. They can donate any amount they want. They do a nice walk on a weekend for us in October. No fanfare, no expenses. So it can be really simple for folks to get together and do something. But they let us know we can help them. And like I said, we can hey, let's create a donation page. And that way, instead of just going to our main donation page, we know where the funds came from. Right. We can organize it. We can let the organizers know a total and how much they did raise. And so we can do simple things like that. It doesn't take us any time at all.
And they don't have to touch the funding.
They don't, and that way they're not. And that way, a lot of folks don't want to get checks. Who's the check made out to? Grab cash. Accounting for that, feeling not comfortable having a bunch of cash that's not theirs, kind of thing, or putting it through their bank and writing a check, so that it keeps it clean and simple. And then the donors get their tax donation since it came straight to us.
Okay, so you mentioned jumping out of an airplane.
Yeah.
What is that all about?
Well, Jump for the Rose, one of our longest running events, and I know you've done it.
I've done it, yes.
Not just attended and been there. What's special this year, jumping out of an airplane, so that's just already a fun event. They set records. If you go out there and watch it, there's folks out there having a great time where this is their passion, skydiving. This year, they have a special raffle, Jet for the Rose, where one of their longtime supporters is donating his private jet. He will fly you and a guest to Vegas for 3 nights. He's covering the hotel room as well as the transfers. And you can go to Vegas and have a great time and get there on a private jet. So it's a pretty good.
This is not a little bitty plane.
No,
this is a very nice.
It's going to be a nice, fun experience for anyone who wins that. And it's a $100 raffle they're doing. We set up a page for them, so they're ready to go. And again, they're not handling money and doing all that. And we'll be drawing at the event. Jump for the Rose is where they're actually going to be drawing for that raffle prize winner.
And Jump for the Rose started with Marion Sparks, who was one of our sponsored patients.
Yes, one who likes to give back.
Promised Dixie that she would give back once she got well. She did. And I think Jump for the Rose now is touching way over $360,000.
Oh, yeah.
$1,000.
Absolutely.
I mean,
they're good, close to $500,000 for sure. And again, one person got passionate, set it up. Now she went huge, which you can do, and set up your own nonprofit. So she has her own 501(c) status. And the same with Serve Procure, a group of ladies who do a tennis tournament for us and some other activities. So there's that end of the spectrum to the schools from Tomball to LaPorte who might just the teachers do a jean day. They might sell a pink T-shirt and raise funds for us.
Pink out days, volleyball games. I mean,
the football moms.
You name it. Those football moms go all out for that pink out game. And we get pictures and we're able to share them. So they pink out the entire stadium. I mean, it's fabulous. If you love pink, go and check out some of those games, because from the football players with the cleats, their socks, and some people even have jersey pins, and the cheerleaders go all out, but the moms in the stands, they make sure that the students have pink shirts, and you're able to purchase a shirt, and all those donations go back to the Rose.
Wow, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. They are. So they're all fun.
And our employees even get involved in some of these. Absolutely. Yeah.
They'll let us know, hey, my friend's doing something for you guys, so we can get in touch and again, see how we can just help them if they need help. A lot of times people don't need our help, and we can just go pick up a check and take some photos and thank them in person. So all in between, but it doesn't take much to help. And again, all of it, because that $600,000 number is not 4 people. That is 180 plus organizers. So they all matter. So some people are like, I did a little bit less than my goal. And we're like, it all matters. It all matters.
Absolutely.
And we really like to let them know that, because sometimes people are like, well, it's only $200. Yeah. But you know what that $200 can do for a woman who's in need?
Absolutely.
And that's what we are there to tell them.
Right.
And I mean, from tacos.
We want to talk about eating. That's probably one of our favorite things too. Not just Chick-fil-A, but Tacos A Go-Go's back this year with their Tata Taco, which they do a special beet juice tortilla and then a special sauce.
There's tortilla is really. I was going, how did they do this?
They have they just have fun with it, and it's a special taco, and folks enjoyed it so much that they hated when it ended in October, and so they've been bringing it back every year.
They had a run with or a walk with it too. didn't they, the first time where you had to go to the stop sign and you had to come back?
Oh no, you're thinking
about
of
a
one of my
different
one of my favorites, which was, and you and I both were there. That was the 1K beer and taco walk.
Right?
The beer and taco walk that was a 1K, which we were like, I'm in.
Yes, because it wasn't very far. And it wasn't
And I don't
very
even think it was a
long.
1K because I think we literally stood at this line and went, see that stop sign? Just walk down there and back. And we were downtown early in the morning and had breakfast tacos and just had a lot of fun. Again, a survivor who had insurance. That was not her. She was not one of our patients to give back in that way, but knew that if she was going to give back, she wanted to give back to an organization that mattered.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
It was.
And that truly is the sentiment across the board. People in our community know what the Rose does, and they want to help us reach out to the community, and they want to support us.
Yeah.
I am always surprised by the people who say, "Will you help my cousin?" or
Yeah,
"You
oh,
help
yeah.
my mother?"
Yeah.
or, and it just goes to the need
Yeah.
that's in the community.
Yeah.
You know, I often think that, oh my gosh, our work is done, but it's not. It's not.
That's
yet.
never done.
Not at all.
And a lot of times we don't know until after it's all over. Then someone will say, "Oh, well, you know why I did this," and we
Right.
didn't know why.
Right.
And they'll tell us then later why, what their why was. You know, and that wasn't just breast cancer. Of course, we know everyone most have been touched by it because it is 1 in 8 women. And for those uninsured that can give back, that's great. But there's so many out there who just been moved by it and want to do something.
Very few people are. You know, today it is almost everybody knows someone who's been through breast cancer. When
Absolutely.
we started the Rose, it was we never heard of breast cancer. So to me, that's just another indicator that
And younger and younger,
continues.
as I mean, I know you've
Yeah.
had plenty of shows talking about that, and we'll meet some of those women because they're younger and they want to give back as well.
So can public participate in all these events or not?
Some and some not. So the ones that you can, we'll put on our website, and that way you can go buy a ticket, you can join the group, and have some fun. And we have some that are, you can buy a ticket to the party and have registration for some of the tennis tournaments and golf tournaments are open. Chicken and Pickle, that's another new one this year because they're a new company in town. They're doing a wine walk.
I know, so exciting. Yes.
So you can play pickleball at Chicken and Pickle in Webster, and then also they're going to have some wine stations set up with their vendors.
Between doing the pickleball?
Yeah.
Or
Yes. What do you think?
You apparently haven't seen the Chicken and Pickle, but that's what it's
No,
all about,
no.
eating and drinking and then 8 pickleball courts. So
Yes.
Oh, my
So
gosh.
they'll have
So-
stations of different wine companies, and they are allowing you to come by and taste, walk around, drink
and
a
that'll
little
be
bit,
open to the
and,
public.
and then go play pickleball.
oh, okay.
And then we have a lot of internal stuff, like QTS is a longtime corporate supporter where they do things internally. So it's not open to the public, but they might sell T-shirts. Again, they might have raffles or auctions in-house. Ivonic is another one that does some things internally. So it's not open to the public, but it's still a huge undertaking for them. And again, we can help out with a web page, pages where the donations can come straight in if they don't want to handle things.
So I want you to look at your list and make sure that we haven't missed
Yeah.
anyone. And LaTonya, when does all this start? Is it only in October or?
So some people are starting now. So we will be starting to update that calendar. I mean, we're updating it as we speak. And it will go through the end of October, but a lot of our longtime supporters, they do things throughout the year. I know Source Vital does some 50, is it 25%?
Yeah, I think it's 20% of their deodorant sales, and they'll come to the Rose. And then, of course, there's a walk in the Woodlands at a school that's in March. Paint the Path
Paint the Path
Pink
Pink,
that they've
yes.
done for years. So I can't forget Nice Winery because we love the rosé for the
yes,
Rose. I know
yes.
that they've been on at their own show, but that'll actually kick off. We're doing that in the first week of October, so that's kind of going to be a kickoff party for them to do that. And of course, J Bar M, another great barbecue place in town. They have a wonderful.
A big cinnamon roll. I
Yeah.
mean, it's pink and it's big and it shares. It's a family size or just a me size.
But they're great supporters, and we've already talked to them, and they're going to be back doing that again. And there'll be area bars and restaurants that'll come up with different things, either pink drinks or a dessert that might be
Little
on the menu.
Woodrows this year.
Little Woodrows does pink parties and this year all 10 locations in the Houston area will be doing a party at some point during the month. And they accept donations all month long. And then each pink party is a little bit different, but they do pink parties all month long at those locations all around town. So yeah, it's not wherever you live, you're going to find some place to go, because that's, again, Little Woodrows is everything from Sugar Land to Tomball in town, and then down to Webster. We have a new location down there. And they've been supporting us for several years now.
And some of our restaurants and other supporters get our pink ribbons.
Yes.
And then they invite their customers to buy a pink ribbon in honor of someone. I think Casa Olé has done that for years.
Absolutely. Casa Olé does that.
Texas Roadhouse, I believe, still does that.
Yeah, Texas Roadhouse. And then
Little Woodrows.
the Little
will be
Woodrows, that's
doing
what
that
they
as
will use
well.
a lot of those pink ribbons and ask for donations. And you'll go into Little Woodrows and really be surrounded by those, the entire bar is surrounded by
And
those.
so that's another way that we can help support by
Right.
giving them those kind of materials to work with.
Yeah. Then we'll have shopping days like Kinder Scott. There's always a day in October. That'll be a Rose Day. Kinder Scott herself is a longtime supporter of breast cancer in general. And the Houston stores are great at supporting the Rose. And they're also going to be doing some pop-up shops at different events. So if some of the folks have an event, they'll actually come and do a pop-up shop at their event that raise some additional funds for the Rose. So they're
that's
longtime
fabulous.
supporters as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
So anyone else that we need to mention?
No, because some we're still waiting to hear from. We're, but again, we start hearing in the next few weeks for us what's been going on. But we're excited. It's a good time of year for us.
And I know the Cancer Fighters are about to have another event.
That's right.
And they were very instrumental in starting our second center. So, some of these are very long-time
supporters. Yeah, some, and we'll have brand new ones that we, like J Bar M last year was their first year doing something, and they were excited to do something to keep it up. So just a few years, and then you have the Kinder Scotts and the Cancer Fighters and Rudy's that have been just long time. Immediately they're like, "Are you in?" Yep, we're in. So and we do it. Jim Shore, who's a designer of figurines and ornaments and that sort of thing. Long before I came to the Rose, they were in place, and he does that every year. We get a new design every year, and they sell those through their shop and also through Hallmark stores. So there's things that are also national, and that's one of the ones that is a national supporter. And that's how important it is. We will never help folks in Cleveland or around but there are people who really QTS has a local office
in
but they are a national company. But our mission rings a bell with them, and they know. That we're using those funds wisely and where that money's going, and it means something to them.
So people can find out about these events on our website. There's a list of them
Absolutely.
through the calendar, right?
Yep, on the website.
And then we'll be doing notices or talking about them in our
they'll
newsletter.
they'll be in the e-blasts and the newsletters that go out with social media, and a lot of these events will tag us, and that's how we might even hear about some of those events because they'll tag us on social media too.
So as long as they're following us on social media platforms, you will be able to see what's going on.
And so when you're talking social media, you're talking
Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
Especially Instagram stories.
Instagram stories,
Yes. That's a nonstop in October because, a lot of folks who do events share them, and that's an easy place for us to do a quick share for all of our supporters to see.
So it's just another way that the community supports us. Always
Right.
has.
Always has.
Always has been there for us
Yeah.
because I guess they know that we're supporting the community.
And more than ever.
And,
it
when
matters.
we talk about this really goes to the women, there have been years when we didn't have enough grant money to
Right.
cover the request we were
Right.
getting. So you can't emphasize that enough, how important this
But
is.
it's unrestricted for us
Right.
to put to the women that need it most, and making sure it's going there. And again, these events, they don't have expenses on us. It's so it's something that, again, we'd never be able to do even 4 of these events in October with just the 2 of us. So it really takes the community, but because of the community, and of course we were based on community supporting each other with the 3 insured women. You can help that one uninsured woman with their insurance payments. It all goes back to community, and we could not do it without the community help.
Sure couldn't.
No.
Well, thank you both for being with us today, and we're going to keep pushing and talking about our third-party
Absolutely.
events.
And again, it doesn't matter if it's October. If you're thinking about it now and you're like, let me rush. Cancer
No.
doesn't care.
No, it doesn't.
Because it doesn't care. We wear pink all year long. We
year.
don't save it for October. So don't be afraid to do something around Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or any other time when it makes sense to put an event together. We're happy to help.
So they can do it in honor of, in memory of,
absolutely. We
anything
get a
that
lot
they
of that.
want to recognize and have us recognize that they're doing.
Yeah.
Yes,
We are. ready to go.
Something I learned coming here is breast cancer doesn't know your age and it doesn't know what month it is.
Yeah.
So while we are going strong in October, we really can use your help all month.
Absolutely.
And all year long.
Yeah.
All year long.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. Yes. Again, thank you all, and we'll encourage our listeners to go to our website.
Absolutely.
You're going to find all kind of things to do, from cocktails to dinners,
Yes.
to tennis, to motorcycle rides,
Golf.
to golf,
Walks. Yeah, walks.
always food.
Always food.
There's always, it's popular.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're a food town, so
We're a
it
food
makes it
town.
very easy. And
Yes.
and we've even had vegan and vegetarian restaurants, so it doesn't have to be all the sugars.
Right,
There's lots
right.
of things for everybody to come out and do it. And if you have an idea that we've even touched on all the ideas, and there's always a new idea every year we haven't heard about. So we're happy to hear about it and see how we can help make it as easy as possible for you to be successful.
Yes.
And have fun.
And
So
have
reach out
fun.
to
And have
us.
fun.
And what?
Reach out to us at the Rose,
yes.
Yeah.
at events@therose.org.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Events at the
At
Rose.
therose.org. Yes.
Okay.
Easy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today on Let's Talk About Your Breasts. This podcast is produced by Speak Podcasting and brought to you by The Rose. Visit therose.org to learn more about our organization. Subscribe to our podcast, share episodes with friends, and join the conversation on social media using hashtag Let's Talk About Your Breasts. We welcome your feedback and suggestions. Consider supporting The Rose. Your gift can make the difference to a person in need. And remember, self-care is not selfish, it's essential.